Hey friends, happy Friday. Hey Steven. Hey everybody on the list and friends from YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else. I am coming to you from a undisclosed bunker location, but honestly, I'm just sitting in bed and I can't believe this. It's 9:40 in the morning. I haven't slept in until 9:40 in the morning. I don't know, since I can't even name the year, like 2006. I don't even know. I just want to say happy week, happy morning. I love you all. I just thought I'd share a few thoughts this morning. It's the end of the week or the beginning of the week, depending on when you're watching this. And I just thought I'd share some quotes that have really been a big deal to me and share some inspiration and goodwill at the end of the week here. Maybe over the weekend we'll look at a couple of charts and we'll take a look at a couple of things. But here I am. I'm sitting up in bed. No judging. I did get my hair cut finally. But I wanted to share some quotes that have really been meaningful to me as a trader and share a couple of stories about some recent trades and talk a little bit about stuff. So first of all, I'm going to share a quote with you from one of my all-time favorite books. And I'm going to jump over here and I'm going to try to share this correctly. And there we go. So this is a quote from this book, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And this has been in my life a pretty significant influence, and it has really made a difference. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, there are few. So just maybe ponder that for just a moment, that quote. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, few. So, in the last couple of weeks, as I have been planning trades in the Exotics Club with my friend Scott, and the Exotics Club is our membership where we look at emerging markets. The market sort of went into a stalling pattern, and then we got caught in some trades that weren't going anywhere. And if they would go anywhere, we'd get in them, and then they would start to go against us. And they weren't going against us so bad to become a giant loss, and they weren't even going against us far enough to actually hit the stop loss, but they were getting far enough against us for long enough that they were becoming super frustrated. And my initial reaction at times like that is, oh, I'm going to go look for the next trade, and that next trade is going to pay for this trade that we're in. And so the next trade will pay for this trade, and we'll look for a different trade on a new financial instrument. And I'm looking at emerging markets, and I'm right? And I'm trying to make up for something, and I know what I'm doing, and I've been doing this for 20 years. This is how it's going to go. And if you've ever read the book The Alchemist, all along, my friends, the answer that you've been looking for can be right in front of you. And it takes a whole journey sometimes to get there. So in this book, Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind, written by I can't pronounce his name, Suzuki, he was the dude that brought Zen Buddhism to America in the 1940s and 50s. All of those facts are significantly wrong, but they're close to the actual truth, and I don't remember the exact facts, and that's not important right now. So this dude writes this book. It's based on his lectures. And what he's saying is, after 20 years of being a trader, you dummy, Rob, you're looking outside of where you are for the answer on this trade. And it occurred to me that in the expert's mind, there are few options. I'm in a bad trade. It's not quite a loss. There are a little bit of grumblings from people who I've shared those trades with. They're not especially super thrilled about those trades and how they're going right now. But when I went back to the charts, I actually went live in that group, fully expecting that I would talk about other financial instruments and we'd get a win from a different financial instrument to make up for a sort of running, slogging along difficult loss on another instrument. Turned out that as I was looking at JD.com and EWH, the Hong Kong ETF, I realized our next trades were just re-entries on the same trades that we had. And so many hedge funds out there in the world are just rotating trades into the same financial instruments that they know so well, into gold and other, like Google and Apple and other big name stocks. And it could be the same for me, that there's this new possibility. If I looked at the chart fresh, not as if I look, if you're in a loss and you go to the chart for that financial instrument that you've got a loss in, and you go to that chart as if you don't already have a trade and you look at it with a beginner's mind, You can freshly analyze that financial instrument, and you can see something that maybe an expert wouldn't see. You could take all the indicators off the chart and you can see it as a beginner. And remember when we all started in trading and things were sort of fresh and new and exciting, and you'd put an indicator on your chart and you'd see something that you'd never seen before, or you'd notice a pattern that you'd never recognized before? And that's what I'm talking about. So a little message for today at the end of the week is, first of all, I love you and I'm super happy to see you. Second, leave a comment below and love to hear from you. And then everybody who leaves a comment below over the next day or so. So every single one of you that leaves a comment below over the next day or so, we'll try to reach out to you. So Facebook's probably the easiest place to do that. So if you're here on Rob Booker Trader and you're on the Facebook page and you leave a comment, we'll ask Holly to reach out to you, or we'll make a form. What we'll do is we'll later on come back and make a form. You can fill it out, and then we'll ship you a copy of Zen Mind Beginner's Mind. We'll ship you a copy of that book, and maybe we'll do it over the next 24 hours or whatever. It's really a neat book, and having been raised as a Christian and then reading that book, it was like a really beautiful complement to what I was already believing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over here, and I'm going to do a see if the oh yeah, this is great. Let's see if I can't find the quote. Okay. The other quote from that book that's not listed on the Goodreads quotes is, if you're driving a cart and the cart is not moving, do you hit the cart or do you hit the horse? So what I mean by that is, a lot of times when we're struggling or having some difficulties as a trader, and this week's turned out to be pretty great after waiting for a trade to come through. A lot of times when our trading isn't going as well as we would like, we hit the system. We get mad at the system. We get mad at the strategy. We're hitting the cart. But we're the horse. Like, we're the one that can either drive the cart or not. And it's such a fascinating point of view that so many traders out there in the world, they're just switching on to the next system. They're switching on to the next strategy. They're just moving on to that next sort of sure thing instead of bettering themselves. And if there's one thing I've learned over the last 20 years, is that I need to be a better person, that I need to strive to be a better person. And that when I'm a better person, I'm a better trader. When I'm more solid and on stable ground as a person, which is hard work, especially for an idiot like me, right? Not a good person. I'm a total mess most of the time. But when I work on myself, even in my relationships, even in my family relationships, even in my relationships with my kids, or even in terms of sort of trying to look outward and do things for other people and not be so inward focused, I become a better trader. And so that's the message, is like self-improvement, especially doing esteemable acts, doing good things for other people, doing the next thing that feels right, helps you feel the confidence that you need to stay with the trades that you need to be in, take the trades in the first place that you should take, trade the plan that you made, and stop to really plan the next trade that you're going to take. Okay, enough of all this psychological, theoretical mumbo jumbo stuff. We'll be back this weekend sometime. During that time this weekend, I'll pop up that form so I could send you a copy of a book. And also, I'll put that form in there. And then we'll look at the charts. We'll actually look at a couple financial instruments this weekend. I love you all. I'm so glad to have you here. So thanks for being here on the old Rob Booker Trader channel, and I'll see you next time.